We got that schedule reveal 2024 schedule out for Georgia Bulldogs. We will talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, and why Nick Saban might not even be there after this, as well as what happens with the Florida game. Where do we go next on Locked On Bulldogs?
You are Locked On Bulldogs, your daily podcast on the Georgia Bulldogs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome back, everybody. My name is Clint. Daniel's not here today. He is out gallivanting the world, but Locked On Bulldogs is. We are your team every single day. Thanks for giving us your first listen. Today's episode, we'll be talking about the 2024 schedule release, why Nick Saban might not even be there after this. We're going to talk about a vicious slate, and including the Dogs, as well as what happens to Florida. Are we going to keep on going down to the pit of Jacksonville? I know we all love it. We're going to talk about it. It's going to be fun. It's for the 199, by the way, if you're not part of the 199. 199 is for those of us who are loyal third segment listeners. Please stick till the end. Thanks for making us your first listen. Subscribe to YouTube as well as to anywhere you download your podcast devices or your audio on whatever devices you use, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, all the like. Thanks for being here. Let's start with that schedule. Let's get it up on the screen so that we all know what we're talking about. Here are our 2024 SEC opponents. We get Auburn, Florida, Mississippi State, Tennessee at home. Now, one of those is clearly an asterisk. We do not get Florida at home. We are the home team, but no, it's Jacksonville. It's a neutral site. And then we get to go to Alabama. We get to go to Texas. We get to go to Kentucky, and we get to go to Ole Miss. There's a couple things we got right about this. One, we had said on this podcast, keep on giving us Kentucky. We like this game. The Stoops. It has a great program down there for all intents and purposes. Kentucky is not a powerhouse football program, but yet they're doing some things over there. He's getting them in the right direction, so it's really, really good. We like having them there. I like keeping that on the schedule. Ole Miss, look, Lane Train, let's roll, buddy. We get to go down and visit what can only be Sea Sucker Polo, Sea of Bro Dude down in Ole Miss. Should be good. One thing I can say about Ole Miss, man, that blue hits. I like that blue. As well as clearly the big notable games, Alabama, Texas. So if you are not familiar with Georgia's schedule 2024, please keep this in mind. Clemson, played them a couple of years ago. We were at the game. It was fantastic. Daniel and I were kicking off the season, as well as the Sherpa M-Dubs and family. It was a wild time. It was a good time. It was fantastic. Nearly had to carry Daniel out over my shoulder. I had to turn into the Sherpa myself. It was great. It was glorious. It was hot. We get Clemson on the schedule. We get Texas. We get Alabama. Those are huge marquee games. Don't expect any other games outside of that to be huge marquee. I mean, besides the SEC schedule, don't look for out-of-conference games that are going to be glorious. Because again, look, we get Auburn at home, and Auburn is down. But look, they're gonna be able to ball on offense. If you don't think Auburn can ball on offense, you got another thing coming. They are going to be able to do that very well. Think of Gene, think of all the rest of the gimmicky things, except it's not just gimmicky. It's going to be actual good football, at least on the offensive side. And then hopefully we'll put together somebody on defense. So Auburn's going to be good. Florida is not good. Billy Napier is horrible down in Jacksonville. Mississippi State, who knows what's going to happen to that program, the trajectory of that. And Tennessee, I do suspect that they will be very much like Auburn. It's funny to say that in the same sentence. Tennessee and Auburn will be in the same camp. They can play offense. They hate defense. Auburn has a history of getting some defense. Tennessee does not. Whipple is going to be able to just do what he wants to do on that offensive side if they are able to find a quarterback that can throw it where they need to and be on time. I don't think they have it this year. I doubt they're going to have it in succeeding years. And people are transferring out of that are supposed to be major contributors to the program and not Burton maybe contributors, actual contributors, people who have proved it on the field time and time again. So as far as the release goes, this podcast is stoked, is excited. I mean, you look at it, this is a good slate, y'all. I'm excited for this slate. It's not as daunting as you think. Again, Kirby has shown he's not afraid of Alabama. Texas, again, I don't think they are going to be the Texas that everybody suspects they will be. If Arch Manning is bad, if Ewers is bad, that program is going to be bad for a long time. They have not been recruiting at the highest level that they want to. Development has not been there. They every once in a while, Bijan Robinson will pop up and he's killer all worldly. I know, Falcon fan, calm down. But who knows what's actually going to happen over there. I like the schedule. It's going to be a fun schedule. I do, again, think that they add another game down the road. It's not going to stay at 8. It will go to 9 at some point. There's too much SEC love. There's too many schools. There's too many great rivalries. There's too many things missing from this. Like I said, I kind of want to see South Carolina on this schedule. I do. I don't want to go there because that song in that stadium is a pit. But it'd be fun to keep them on there. It'd be fun to have Vanderbilt just so my boy Daniel and I can go to games in Nashville. We're going to come back after this. But first, we'll let you know about Birddogs. Birddogs is a fantastic company. Right now, Birddogs is better than what you could ever imagine. Any short that you've put on before in your life. And yes, they have liners, and you think to yourselves, I don't know about liners. Here, just a quick clue. Get in on the liner game. These things are fantastic shorts. They are exactly what you want. They are comfortable. They are breathable. They are at the gym, working out on a weekend, working at the home, lounging around the home. Birddogs, you won't get out of them. I'm wearing them right now. They're fantastic. They're great. Birddogs.com/lockedoncollege, and you get your free Yeti style tumbler with every purchase. Birddogs.com/lockedoncollege. They are not like Lululemon. They're better than Lululemon. They are the Built Bar of shorts. Get over there right now. Order whatever you can and use promo code LockedOnCollege to get your free Yeti style tumbler with every single purchase. That's birddogs.com/lockedoncollege. Get over there and find the most fantastic shorts in the entire world. You won't want to take them off, I guarantee you. All right, let's keep talking about what this means for Georgia going forward. This schedule 2024 that's clearly on there, and we're not even going to do conjecture 2025 yet. That's going to be coming down the road. Who knows? I think get 2 years before that 9th game comes on. But let's talk about Nick Saban. Let's talk about what absolutely is an incredible schedule for Alabama. And many Alabama fans are already in the comments, already talking about, wow, Nick Saban complained about who he's going to get. He doesn't want to go to 9 because then he has these absolute slobber knocker 3 anchor schedules, as we've talked about before. So what did the SEC do? And they're like, oh, cool. So you didn't want to play Auburn, LSU, and Tennessee. How about we put them all on your schedule? Graham Coffey at Dogs Out West has already pointed that out, which is fantastic. If you don't know who that is, go find him on Twitter. He's a great follow, as well as Dog Stats. There are boys out there. They're doing good work. But yeah, they said on a tweet, hey, Nick, you said you didn't want it. How about we give them, and this just in as well. How about Georgia on the schedule? Now let's look at this. Nick Saban is, again, getting up there in years. He is teetering on the point of no longer being relevant in college football. Doesn't want to do 9 games. And it is low-hanging fruit. I understand that. We were on a radio broadcast in Alabama talking about that. I get it. I understand. But it's nonetheless true. It's 2 things could be true at the same time. We're famous on this podcast for saying Nick Saban is teetering, is running away, is low-hanging fruit, because it's all true. Let's look at their schedule. I'm not going to do out-of-conference game, but I am going to do one out-of-conference game that is important. They go to Wisconsin, 3rd week of the season. Let's walk all the way through it. Western Kentucky, USF, Wisconsin, and then Mercer. And then the rest of the SEC slate. Again, Georgia, Auburn, Tennessee, LSU, Oklahoma on there. I don't think Oklahoma is going to be nearly what they think they should be in the SEC. Same as Texas. I think they will be Mizzou, Kentucky level in the SEC. Maybe a notch above, maybe a one-hit wonder like an Ole Miss in there every once in a while, or a Mississippi State that can get the ball going on a couple things. Maybe that's the case, but I think they'll be middling at best. So you have on the schedule 2024. Look, we expand the playoff. I understand, but does Nick Saban make it out of this season for his own sake? No one's going to fire him. Listen, Bama fan, who's listening to us, by the way, hi, welcome, glad you're here. We're not saying he's going to get fired. We're saying, does he just say, forget this. I'm done with it. I can't do it. Can't hack it. Can't have it anymore. Does he have a little come to Jesus moment in his head where he goes, all right, I can't do it. I'm out. Because Wisconsin is a hard place to play. You can make fun of them. And I don't know how they do it with 3 stars. They always have a great offensive line. They always protect the ball. They get some left-handed quarterback who's out there. And they have a running game, and they have a couple of threats that just love being a Badger. You go there, and Wisconsin is a hard place to play. Don't make any mistake about it. And yeah, it's September 14th, and there's going to be cold weather. People are like, oh, you're not playing in actual weather. Please stop. Okay. Wisconsin, Georgia, Auburn, Tennessee, LSU, Oklahoma. You're not winning. Is there a chance 3 of those are losses? Yep. If you don't think Georgia's going to come in and give you a game, I understand it's at the stadium, but if Saban is going to be anything at quarterback, maybe by then, maybe by that time he's starting, which he should be because they have no other quarterback of competency on the roster. Georgia has a good shot of knocking you off there. Okay, so that's 1. Auburn always plays you tough. Okay, that's 2. Tennessee already beat you. Oh, yeah, that's 3. Wisconsin has a chance, not a good, maybe 25%. I'd give them 25, 30%. Okay. LSU, we've already said, is probably the best team in that half of the conference today. 2 years' time, it won't be half the conference. LSU is the second best team in the SEC and has no signs of slowing down. You're telling me you're not going to 12-team playoff, 3 losses. That ain't cutting it. I'm just here to say Alabama is going to have a hard time making a playoff in 2 years. That's all I'm saying. And if they do, we will know that let me be clear. If Nick Saban gets Alabama to the playoff with this schedule, this will be his best coaching year on record. There, I said it. Because last year he had the best composite roster literally of all time and couldn't make the SEC championship. So it's not lack of talent. It's almost like it's lack of something else, not lack of talent, maybe execute. Oh, it's probably the coordinators. That's what it is. Let's blame the coordinators. They're awful. I don't know if he makes it out of it. We're going to come back after this, and we're going to talk to the 199 loyal 3rd segment listeners. Come on back. All right, we are back. Loyal 3rd segment listeners are here. Thank you for being part of the 199. The 199, go over to bonfire.com/store/the199 and get the merch, the Kirby Death March, the Ice I'm Fluent in Kirbyese, the bottles and buckets. If you don't know what bottles and buckets is, this 2024 schedule will have you bottles and buckets, meaning you got to always have a bucket close for something to come out because you're nervous, and you got to have a bottle to consume as you're enjoying the game as well. Get over there right now. Thanks for being part of the 199. We have found the Weldon brothers, just so y'all know. They are fine. They are good. They're enjoying life, as well as the rest of you on Twitter and the rest of you degenerates talking to us. We love having y'all here. Thanks for being on the show. For fans, by fans. Let's talk about the the Florida game that is right now not a home and home. That is a neutral site in Jacksonville. If you look at the schedule, again, once more, Auburn, Florida, Mississippi State, Tennessee, and it's already been spoken about. It's already been talked about. There's already chat boards and Twitter. People who are season ticket holders, people who are invested in Athens, going to games, tailgating, having the whole atmosphere, not excited about the proposition of not having good home games. Now, again, I think there's a couple good home games. Auburn's going to be a good home game because they always are. Mississippi State is fine. Tennessee is going to be fun. That was fun last year. Let's keep it going. Marquee games at night. I do think, Tennessee, Auburn by that time has a chance to be a night game. I really, really, really do, especially if ESPN continues to do their contract talks and continues making marketing and continue making money for us in that TV front. I do think one of those is going to be a night game. I think it's going to be prime time. I think in the future, ESPN is going to have a flex option, kind of what the NFL does, where you're going to have a couple of teams like this. Like if you're going to tell me that 100% definitively Auburn won't be good in 2 years, you're fooling yourself. They could be. And if that's the case, if they're top 10, top 15 in 2 years' time, are you telling me that a game in Athens against those two, maybe late in the year, is not going to be pushed up? And they're not going to be smart about that. And the SEC is going to schedule the weeks with maybe a Kentucky, South Carolina, or maybe an LSU against Ole Miss and give themselves options for a flex game. No, one of those is going to be prime time. It's going to be awesome. But let's talk about the Florida game. This is moving to home and home. Kirby can say whatever he wants. This new SEC model, this new home giving you games, this new starting off with certain marquee games, the Wisconsins, the Clemsons, all of this to start the season. SEC kickoff maybe in Atlanta or down in Dallas. Oklahoma and Texas ties are going to continue to pull for that sort of stuff. I think something like Oklahoma, Texas may get a home and home as well. I think it might change. I think Florida, Georgia, this schedule, if there was any momentum, if it was just talk, if it was, hey, we need more recruiting, hey, we want another home game, it sucks having to get them down there, it's closer to them, it's closer to whatever it is. I think this is the most compelling argument to get that home and home with Florida is this new SEC schedule. And I think when we go maybe to 9, it might stay, but if it stays at 8 for the foreseeable future for the next couple of years, there's going to be conversations. There's already conversations. There's already backroom talk. There's already renovations. I know they just extended their contract. I understand that, but this is the most compelling. If it was going to happen, if you're one of those people that wants the Florida game home and home, this right here, most compelling argument to get that done. I want to go to the swamp and I want to just shove Billy Napier's face in the grass so badly. Just so badly. I want them to come to Athens, and I just want all the absolute Florida hate in the entire world. There's a chance it could happen and get that done. Hey, this has been Locked On Bulldogs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Come back next time with us where we continue to talk about the Bulldogs the way you do, like fans, for fans, by fans, and we will see you all later.